All right, so here's part 3 of the Banjo Clinic. Once again, we only have an hour, so we can't really introduce anything that's complicated at all. And we've talked about establishing a rhythmical structure where people can play over the top of it. So once you've got the structure going, you certainly... Somebody knows Cripple Creek, they can play that. Now, the other thing I say to people is that learning songs is one thing, and then learning to play backup or something when other people are playing is a totally separate subject. So you're doing two things, backup and lead, all right? Now, fortunately, since I wrote this book called The Banjo Primer in 1982, I think, and we've revised it 5 times. We've got that really good where it includes a DVD where things are played at 3 slow speeds, and then it includes tracks with the band on a separate CD, or you can download this. And if you want to learn to play solos, that works about as good as anything. So, of course, if I'm doing a clinic, I show people the book, and that gives them something to do as far as learning songs. All right? So, once you do all this, which is probably going to take 45 minutes, then you can demonstrate, you can answer questions, and that's basically it. But so what's happening here, which is a little different than most clinics, is for the first time, the students are playing in a group and they're feeling what it feels like to play at that professional level as far as rhythm. Because rhythm is what gives you the drive. It's not the notes that you're playing. So I think that's it. So if you have any questions, you can certainly email me or it's Geoff, spelled Geoff, at C as in cat, V as in Victor, L as in Larry, S as in Sam.com. So that's Geoff at CVLS.com, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. And since this video is so short, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to play some G backup, and I'm going to do the 7-note roll, the forward and backward roll, then I'm going to do a few other rolls just for fun, okay? And then I'll put some runs in it. So... one other little thing, if you're ever playing in a band and you want to really drive it, simply play that 5-3-1 and don't stop it. Just go. Just keep doing that. So basically that's what you're doing. It's 5-3-1, 5-3-1, 5-3-1, 5-3. Okay, now listen to what this sounds like if I don't stop it. And all I'm playing is 5-3-1, 5 over and over. Here we go. Hear that drive? Once again, that's just 5-3-1. You don't play the second string, and you just keep that going, and it's going to feel really weird because as the downbeat comes through and you hear it, you're going to want to stop and play that downbeat, but it's not, you'll lose that drive if you do. And the only other thing I was going to say is people want to do breaks based on melody, And that's a fairly complicated thing to do because you're playing this 3-note roll, and it's very difficult to know where the downbeat is, okay? So if you have the melody in your head, somehow you have to time it so that your fingers arrive at the correct string and the correct note when it's time to play that melody note. And that's very, it takes years to do that. So the simplest way to do it is just to learn backup, and then gradually over the years you'll learn that skill. And if you really like a song, just get the tablature. For example, with guitar, if you're playing a lot of times they'll play a alternating thumb, which is, and I'll talk about this in theory, but okay, so doing that kind of a guitar finger picking style, every other note is the thumb, okay? And all the downbeats come on the thumb, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And whenever you play a melody note, almost all the melody notes are on the thumb, okay? And so when you're about ready to play the melody, you just get out your thumb, okay? And it's real easy to keep track of where you are that way. However, when you're doing a find the downbeat on banjo, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In other words, the finger, if you're doing a straight roll, on the downbeat, the first beat of each major changes. So it's very easy to play play lead or come up with melody breaks on guitar, but very difficult on the banjo. So, 2 things. If you're a guitar player and you play fingerstyle and you want to play the banjo, there are 2 things to remember. Number 1, banjo's played considerably faster than guitar, so you have to do drills to get your speed up. And number 2, since all the lead notes pretty much come on your thumb and it's easy to keep track of them, but it's very hard on banjo. The guitar player who thinks he'll just transition right into banjo will end up playing something like this. See, that's kind of what the guitar would sound like, and it sounds like a guitar player playing banjo. So my recommendation is to learn 3 or 4 songs, note for note, from tab. Forget that you play guitar. And then you'll start hearing how those rolls come in, and your experience playing the guitar will help because guitar players can play the left hand. They can make chords on the banjo easily, and their fingers are limber, okay? So there are some benefits, but if you try to think the melody as a guitar player, it's not going to work, and you'll get really frustrated because people are playing Foggy Mountain Breakdown, and you're playing something like, which, and most people can do that in about 10 minutes. I think, wow, I'm a natural on the banjo, but then after about the 3rd song that sounds like that, they're going, wow, I really want to sound like a banjo player. So that's the only other thing that was on my mind. So if you have any questions, give me a call, and we'll go from there.